What you're telling me is a young engineer comes up with this very exciting new idea. He's tested it in the lab, but potentially needs to wait a decade or so to really see it realized.
Oh, well,
what would you suggest that keeps this man or woman excited?
Well, yes, and it's a good question, because I think there are these challenges, but I think these challenges are true in many sectors as well. There is a timeline between things working in a lab. And what we don't want to do is deploy technology too early, because it's not a mobile phone app that if it crashes or doesn't work quite right, we'll just get a bit grumpy and delete it off our phone. If you get this wrong on a railway, trains crash and there's significant consequences. The railways have got better at focusing on what they want to innovate and doing that in a much better timeline. What I would say is that, as an engineer, as a scientist, as a researcher, in my early career, I thought it was all about having the technology and proving the technology. What I've learned, and it's, is all the other stuff is equally important. The human factors piece of how your maintenance staff knows how to use the equipment, how they interpret the data that you might be producing, or making sure that the automated system can cope in all sorts of weird and wonderful circumstances you've never thought of. That all takes an awful lot of time to work through. I remember back, this would have been the late 90s, doing work with instrumentation and computerized prediction of faults, and talking to a maintenance team and saying, I think this is going to fail, and them saying, no, it's not, there's nothing, and lo and behold, a week later it failed. But there's also a culture piece in terms of the actual staff on the railway believing that you can do some of these things actually takes some time. All of those things add into that whole system design.